Hey guys, I am David for Chase Breaks. In this video, we are going to take a look at how to buy cards on the Topps.com website, the best way that I have found to do this. And if you've seen my other video about buying cards on Target, that's helped a lot of people. I'm hoping this can help you as well. I'm going to have a couple of links in the description of the video that might help you as well, but we're going to go over a lot of the basic things that can help you with scoring cards on the Topps.com website and how you can actually make the most out of your purchase on Topps as well. So go ahead and get started. The first thing you need to do when you're wanting to find cards for sale on Topps is you need to know the schedule. The thing that I do, I usually post this about every week, is I go to the Blowout forums, Blowout Cards. They have their own forums, and they have a thread specifically for the update schedule. And it's kind of small print here, so you might not be able to see it too well, but you'll see there's a Topps release today for WWE Women's Division wrestling cards, and there's a bunch of other Topps releases. Typically, on those days, they also sell some online, but they also do tend to drop things occasionally when there isn't a release day. So, for example, I think it was just last week or maybe earlier this week, there was a release for the Bowman Blaster boxes, which didn't fall on the actual release date of Bowman. So just keep that in mind. You may have to monitor Topps fairly often. I wouldn't recommend watching too closely and refreshing too much because they will block you, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But the first thing you need to do, most importantly, know the release date for the product that you're wanting. Again, some things do drop between release dates, so you got to kind of keep an eye out as well. Now, when we go to Topps.com, first thing I want you to notice is that I am using an extension called Lolli. Now, there are other extensions that you can use or other cashback type programs that you can use, but I definitely love to use Lolli because I get Bitcoin back on my purchases on Topps.com. A lot of people don't like Bitcoin. There's other ones that you can use, but I've been using this for a while, and it's worked out really well for me. And I can actually show you my activity here. You can actually see I had a recent Topps.com purchase. I got 15,942 Satoshis back, which, let's say that's like $8 at the time of this recording. You'll also notice they do other sites, and you can get cash back on eBay, and they pay you this back with the US dollar value in Bitcoin at the time of the transaction. So I got a bunch of money back on eBay from buying on there. Bunch of money back on Topps from buying on there. So you can use this at a bunch of different places, but I did want to point out you can use this for Topps.com, and the reason I like to use Lolli instead of the 3% cashback program with Topps Cashback or whatever, Top Cashback, I don't know. I don't use that one. I use Lolli because I'm huge into crypto. I've been into it since the very beginning of 2017, and I've stayed in it the whole time. I feel like my 2.5% back on the Topps website in Bitcoin will, in the long run, be worth more than the 3% back you get back on Top Cashback. So that's up to you. There will be a referral link for Lolli in the description of the video where I forget what it is. I think you get like $5 when you use Lolli, and I get $5 back as well once you actually use it on a successful purchase. So they do have the affiliate marketing program set up as well if you want to use that. But really, I've been using this for years. I don't really push the affiliate stuff too much, but you might as well if it's going to give you an extra $5, right? So anyways, first thing you'll want to do when you're working on the release date on Topps is you will want to, of course, activate the extension here. Let's go ahead and do that. Takes it a moment. Essentially just reloads Topps with the URL that lets them know that you're shopping through Lolli. See, it'll say it's activated. You'll get this nice little green icon now for your extension. Then you need to go to your account and log in. This is probably the most important step that you could possibly do when you're trying to buy on a Topps release day is to log in ahead of the actual release. Because the Topps website does not handle traffic too well. And once these products go live and people start sharing links, the website really starts to do really bad. Like really bad. Like so bad you can't even cart items and you can't check out. And it gets really difficult. You can still check out. Of course, they have put purchase limits on a lot of items, so you may only be able to add 1 or 2 to carts. Or on retail items, it was just 10 on the Bowman blasters that we bought. So just something to keep in mind. You do need to be logged in to even cart the items. So log in early that day and keep your session fresh. That essentially just means keep your activity up on the Tops.com website occasionally so that it doesn't automatically log you out. You do not want to have to try to log in when everybody else is trying to purchase these things, because again, their website is terrible during the releases, and it can take some time to get through the checkout process, and it might even be impossible if you aren't already logged in. So log in first thing in the morning. Then the searches, this is a lot simpler than the target searches. There's really only one search you need to follow. So we'll go over to the collectibles, and then we will go to boxes and packs. Now, from here, see there's a bunch of stuff that you'd probably never consider buying, and that's for a reason. I want to sell you that stuff. So we're going to go over to type, and we'll filter it by hobby box and value box. Now, you might also want to include sets. I don't want to do that because that puts a bunch of random junk on there as well. You can see now we're limited much more in what we're seeing in the results. You can see some of the more recent releases here that have sold out. That's good. Make sure you are sorting by newest. And if you want to, you can filter it even further, but that's entirely unnecessary at this time because there are so few items that are sold out. Whatever's new is going to pop up right on the top whenever it does come. And again, if you're familiar with the Target videos, you should know that you need to have an auto reload extension. Which I don't know the name of this new one that I'm using, but there's plenty out there that you can find on the Chrome browser extension store. I forget what it's called. But anyway, go search for a Chrome extension that will automatically reload pages for you. And with Tops, do not set it faster than 1 minute. They will set up captchas once you start refreshing too often. 1 minute is about right. Once you get under that, they start throwing a lot of captions your way. I mean, you can always try and do it quicker the closer you are to the release times that you would expect, but not really too much worth it. With Tops, you usually do have a couple of minutes to get the product before things get terrible. But you never know. Things are getting worse and worse every day with these sites and harder to get product. So keep that in mind. If you do refresh too much, Tops will, quote, block you, send you to a CAPTCHA, make you solve that so you can reload the page. And if you continue to do it fast, they're going to continue to send you to CAPTCHAs periodically. So if you have it slower, that's completely fine. Like I said, 60 seconds is where I have mine when I do it, and I don't even do it the entire day. They usually do their releases during the middle of the day, certain time, and there's no set time, so don't bother DMing me. I don't know. Nobody really knows what time they're going to, and a lot of times they don't even drop on the actual day. It just happens that more often than not they do. So yeah, you're probably looking at this video looking for answers, and I hate to tell you, nobody is going to have the answer right every time, but usually the release day, this search, which I will have in the description of the video, and then also refreshing periodically, but not too fast, you should be able to see these items pop up relatively close to when they are actually listed, giving you a chance to get in there. And again, you got to be logged in first. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time. It might not even let you cart the item and proceed to checkout. Now, I'm not going to go through the checkout process. I don't want to buy anything here, and I don't want to accidentally show you any of my account information. So I'm just going to tell you how this is going to work. Now, you can add to cart from here. Sometimes the website is so bad, you will not even get any error messages when you're logged in telling you that the cart has or has not worked, that the carting has or has not worked. So go ahead, do yourself a favor, and remember there is another link that you need to try, and that is tops.com/checkout. If you think you were able to actually cart the item, you can go to tops.com/checkout, and it will show you if you actually had any items in your cart, and it will actually take you to the first page of the checkout. So this little shortcut that I use from time to time, especially when their site is being a little bit temperamental and won't actually show you that you've actually carded the item. Because there's been times, plenty of times, where I've tried to card an item. It doesn't look like there's any badge notification up here showing me that there's an item in my cart, but yet I go to the checkout and it'll actually be in there. So keep that in mind. You add it to your cart. If it doesn't show it and it doesn't give you any error messages, just try loading tops.com/checkout. You might be able to see your item in your cart there. From there, usually it's still a bit of a struggle because the website is so terrible. What you'll have happen is Tops will perhaps fail to load your delivery addresses or fail to load shipping options. So you got to keep in mind their website is under a lot of duress during this time. A lot of their calls, their network calls to other applications and APIs fail because their website is just going through so much. So they have to make a call to figure out what the shipping will be based on what information you have and what you have selected. And a lot of times that'll fail and it won't load any shipping information. At that point, just start by going back to the checkout, tops.com/checkout, until it does load your information. Once you get to the payment screen, you're pretty good to go. PayPal seems to work really well for checkout. I have to use PayPal because I use American Express, and I don't think they take American Express by default. So just keep that in mind if you're going through there. The actual credit card input screen is fine as well, but I've had really good success with PayPal myself. Now, when you are doing the checkout, it will fail a lot of times during these huge releases. If you do have order issues with placing your payment and it not accepting it, saying there's an error, keep trying. You probably won't be charged on your card. I can't guarantee that, but from my experience, I have never been charged when I have had a failed order placement. But what I do is I keep trying to go through that process to check out. And more often than not, eventually the order will go through, or a lot of times you'll also see that this item is no longer available in the quantity you selected, which means it is now out of stock. Almost always. So you have to keep trying at the checkout to be able to get out. And I know I'm not providing you a lot of visuals here, but there's a lot of information that I'm getting out there for you that should be pretty helpful. Don't give up. Their website is terrible. It's going to be a bad experience. You're not going to like it. But if you want the product, you kind of got to put in the work, and you kind of got to deal with it until they can fix their website and make it a little bit better. But I think that's it. I think that's all for this video. So I'll just go over everything again. First of all, know your schedule for when Tops is releasing. Go to the Blowout forums. Make sure you've signed up for a cashback program such as Lolli, which I use, and I'm going to have linked in the description of the video, or Top Cashback, which I think is the other one. There might even be more. I'm sure you can find some. That'll help you in the long term get some of your money back. Then 3, log in the day of potential releases and pull up the search that I have up and auto refresh it. Usually no faster than 1 minute, and you might still very well get the captchas to come up even if you're doing it as slow as 1 minute. So there you go. That's about all I can really tell you as far as the major things. And then once you get to the checkout procedure, remember to check out the tops.com/checkout, tops.com/checkout page. That might help you if you think you've carded the item, but you can't really tell for sure. You should be able to tell when you go there. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you all appreciate the content. Hopefully you can sign up for Lolli, start getting some cash back like I do on there. As you can see, it was been pretty handy, especially with the way crypto's been going here this particular year. Of course, it may not always be that way, but I don't really mind personally. That's going to be it, guys. Thank you. Have a great day.